When you're subtracting fractions that already have the same denominator, you're going to keep that denominator for your answer. And all you have to do is subtract the top parts. So here we have 5t over t minus 1 minus 5 plus t over t minus 1. Since they already have the same denominator, the denominator of our answer is t minus 1. What I want to make sure you notice is how to proceed in the next step. You leave the top part of the first one alone, just the way it is. But what you want to notice is you're subtracting that entire top part of the second one. So, subtracting 5, the opposite of 5 is minus 5. You're also subtracting a positive t. Subtracting a positive t, you're going to have minus t. So basically what you're doing, you're distributing that minus sign to both parts there of that second fraction. Now we combine the like terms on the top. 5t minus t, we have 4t minus 5 over t minus 1. We can't factor the top part. We can't factor the bottom part. There's nothing to cancel out, so we're done with that one. Let's take a look at our next one. Here we have 6 over x minus 2 minus 1 over x minus 3. I'm going to do something here that I found helps me to make far fewer mistakes with negative signs, which is at the very beginning, I'm going to change this from a subtraction problem to an addition problem. When I change that minus to a plus, I need to change the signs on top of the second fraction. By doing that, I've found I make far fewer mistakes with positive and negative signs in the long run. So now, I can't factor the bottom of the first one. I can't factor the bottom of the second one. So, to get my common denominator, when I think, what's the bottom of the first one missing that the bottom of the second one has, it's x minus 3. So I'm going to multiply the top and bottom of that fraction by x minus 3. When I think, what is the bottom of the second fraction missing that the bottom of the first one has, it's x plus 2. So I'm going to multiply the top and bottom of that fraction by x plus 2. And when I put those together, the bottom of my answer is going to be x minus 3 times x plus 2. Now from the first one, x minus 3 times 6, x times 6 is 6x, minus 3 times 6 is minus 18. For the second one, negative 1 times x is minus 1x, negative 1 times 2 is minus 2. Now I'm leaving the bottom part alone, x minus 3, whoa, being messy there, times x plus 2. I combine the like terms on the top. 6x minus 1x is 5x. Negative 18 minus 2 is minus 20. And I can factor, both of those terms on the top are divisible by 5. I factor out of 5, and we'd be left with 5 times x minus 4. The bottom part is still the same, x minus 3 times x plus 2. Now I've factored everything as much as I can. There's no common factors to reduce, so that would be the final answer for that problem. Let's look at one more here. Here again, when I've got a subtraction problem, you don't have to do this. If you're comfortable leaving the minus sign in there and distributing it later, that's fine. I found I make far fewer mistakes if I change this from a subtraction problem to an addition problem. And when I do that, I change the sign on top of the second fraction. So, before we think of common denominators, we factor the denominators we're starting with. On the left side, I can factor out an x from both of those terms, and we have x times x minus 5. On that second fraction, to multiply to be a positive 25, that add up to a negative 10, I would need minus 5 and minus 5. So when I'm thinking, what is the first fraction missing that the bottom of the second one has? That second one has x minus 5 twice. So to get my common denominator, I'm going to need another x minus 5. I multiply by x minus 5 on top and bottom of that first one. When I think, what is the second one missing that the bottom of the first one has? It's the x. So I multiply the top and bottom of that one by x. So the bottom part of my answer is going to be x minus 5 times x minus 5 times x. From the first one on the top, x times 3x is 3x squared. Negative 5 times 3x is minus 15x. From the top of the second one, negative 4 times x is minus 4x. And when we combine the like terms on the top, we have 3x squared minus 19x. The bottom part is still the same. It's just x minus 5 times x minus 5 times x. On the top part, at first it might look like there's nothing you can do to factor, but remember, they do both have an x. So I can factor out an x on the top part. And we'd be left with x times 3x minus 19. And the bottom part, again, still just stays the same. It's x minus 5 times x minus 5 times x. And now you can see the top and bottom part are both divisible by x. So we cancel that out on the top and the bottom part. And our final answer is going to be, for the top, just 3x minus 19. And for the bottom part, we have x minus 5 times x minus 5.